What's up everybody and welcome to another episode of 5 Cool Mods. This is a series where I show you guys some of the coolest mods to come out for Fallout 4 each week. Over the past few weeks we've been having an influx of mods, so some of these may be a little bit older than you typically see in the series, but all of them should be pretty good nonetheless. We definitely have a good balance between armor mods and just some more practical mods in this week. So if you do enjoy it, I encourage you guys to consider subscribing, but with that, let's get right into the list. So first and foremost, we do have a pistol mod called the Jackal. This is by E.A.G.L.E. He makes a lot of really high quality and really good pistol mods, and this is no exception. This is actually a weapon from another series called Hellsing. I think it's some kind of anime series. I don't really know that much about it, but it seems pretty interesting nonetheless. E.A.G.L.E. does give you a little bit of a backstory and lore behind the weapon in his mod post, so I definitely recommend reading that if you do enjoy this. The weapon itself does look absolutely amazing. It's almost become a standard that E.A.G.L.E. makes some of the best looking pistol mods out there right now. On top of that, this one also has custom sounds, and on top of that even, it has its own custom ammo. It's meant to be a bit of a hand cannon, so it definitely does a lot of damage comparatively to other pistols. It also has two pretty notable modifications. One is called the endless rounds, so you could basically have no reload. You just fire. And on top of that, it does have explosive rounds, which, you know, pretty self-explanatory. And you can actually use both of those in culmination to have some pretty damaging effects. All around, it's another really strong and really good pistol mod by E.A.G.L.E. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a little bit more unique. It has like a boxier design and some really high quality and nice looking logos on the sides. And honestly, the sound effect really matches the pistol. It's meant to be, again, like a little hand cannon and definitely fits that role. So the second mod I want to show you guys is PreWar Binoculars. So this is actually a really simple mod, and it just adds in some binoculars to Fallout 4, but they didn't exist prior and they're pretty practical. You do have a few different modification options, including changing the zoom, so you could go all the way from a 4x zoom to a 10x zoom, as well as some of the different textures on the outside, but I don't think that really matters as you won't be seeing it all too much. The way I see it, there's really two ways to use this mod effectively. You could either A, use it as a spotting device for seeing enemies while you're going to go use your sniper or something like that. Or B, the much more practical option is, I think, to use it as a spotting device to find a good position for yourself. Especially with the 10x zoom, it's really practical to carry this over a sniper rifle if you don't typically use the sniper rifle, and actually just check out different locations and see, okay, there's a lot of enemies over there, so I'll come around this side or something like that. Allows you to be a little bit more tactical in Fallout 4 if you so desire. And this is actually one of those things, it may seem really simple, but I can think of a lot of uses for this in Fallout 4 right now. A lot of the times I will look and be like, alright, so I can see a few enemies there, I don't know where the rest of them are, so I'll try and position myself accordingly. The binoculars will definitely help you with that journey, and it would make a really good addition to your arsenal. E.A.G.L.E series Jetpack. So this is actually a pretty interesting mod, a little bit different than some of the other jetpack mods out there right now. Basically, this adds in a totally new model jetpack and then a bunch of custom paint jobs for that. So I'm only going to show you a few, but basically there are an Institute one, just the E.A.G.L.E series one, a Rusty E.A.G.L.E one, a Brotherhood of Steel one, etc, etc. So this isn't just a new model jetpack, there's actually a little bit more going on here. It actually changes the way jetpacks work. Basically, now jetpacks, or at least this particular jetpack, will run off your fusion core instead of your AP. In fact, when you're using this jetpack, your AP will regenerate at a faster rate, but for obvious reasons, your fusion core will drain much faster. So to compensate for that, the mod author did add in a new type of fusion core, Fusion X, which is basically a larger and more expensive fusion core that will basically allow you to run your jetpack for a little bit longer. These will automatically be replaced over regular fusion cores, so let's say your Fusion X runs out, it won't put in a regular fusion core, it'll put in another Fusion X if you do have one in your inventory. All around, I think the jetpacks look really cool. It's a really simple mod, but I do like the changes it offers, as well as the jetpacks definitely give you a more kind of like spaceshipy feel. I don't know, the ones in Fallout 4 look like they're out of a movie or something. This one seems a little bit more practical and a little bit more usable. So at number 4, we have progressive weapon perks. So this is an interesting mod, probably one of the more practical mods on the series. Basically what it does is as you use weapons, you'll get some of those different perks that kind of boost the damage of them. So if you use a lot of melee weapons, you'll start getting levels of the Big Leagues perk, but upon installation of this mod, it'll actually clear all the levels you currently have. On top of that, it also entirely changes the way those kind of perks work. So basically one level will equal 1% more damage, so if you get a lot of levels, you'll get more and more damage. The mod is made in a way that it gets increasingly hard to get levels, so let's say level 1 takes 10 XP, level 2 takes 20, 30, 40, 50, etc, etc. I actually like this system a lot more, and it's basically a double-edged sword. Upon first installing, it's going to be a little bit harder in the early game at least to get new levels. I think this is best suited for new characters, because obviously if you're maxed out and everything, it's going to be really annoying losing all the levels of those perks. On the flip side, you don't actually have to contribute perk points to these weapon perks anymore. Now just using your gun will get you more gun damage. I feel like that makes a lot more more sense than having to spend perk points on these, especially because there are so many good perks out there for Fallout 4 and a lot of different options you can go. This is definitely going to broaden those options, and I think it's all around just a much more balanced way of doing things. So last but not least, we have Cross Tactical Swimsuits. This is by the mod author behind all the other Cross mods, that being Nero. He does make some really high quality mods, and he really has quite a diverse bunch, ranging from weapon to armor mods, all following this kind of cross platform. So what is Tactical Swimsuits? Well, right now there's a bit of a craze for different swimsuit mods for Fallout 4. A lot of people just like those kinds of mods. I feel like this is the best edition of that kind of gives you a practical and aesthetic look. As with all the Cross mods, this has a ton of customizability. You could change the colors, you could change different decals on the suits, you could change the color and then have the decal be a different color, or vice versa, etc, etc. On top of that, there are also a lot of different like attachments you could do. So you could have a tack belt, you could have long sleeve, short sleeves, no sleeves, one sleeve. You could really personalize this mod to make it your own. On top of that, I think the swimsuits do look pretty good. They're not excessively slutty in case you don't want that type of thing in your game, but at the same time, they get the message across. All around, if there's one swimsuit mod that you had to download, I'd recommend it being this one. I think they look the best and they fit the best into Fallout 4 with the whole tactical aspect of them. That's going to be pretty much it for this one though, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. I thank you for watching as always, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.